Hi, I'm Katie with Joyful Forklift, and this is Luanne. Hi, Luanne.
Hi, Katie.
It is so wonderful to be sitting here in your presence today. I've been thinking about this a lot longer than you might know. So thank you for taking the time and the energy and the emotional wherewithal to just be with me today. Thank you.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm so glad.
I'm excited about what you're doing.
Well, thank you for helping me do it. Thank you for helping me bake this bread. So gluten-free. So I would love to first get into your story. And you could certainly speak about who you are in the world, how you see yourself, but you've had a really important history that has shaped, as we all have, but that has shaped who you are and how you engage with your life and with people. And that history, I believe, has shaped, the very reason I'm here with you today, why you are really interesting to me and why I think your wisdom is particularly powerful. So if you don't mind sharing some parts of your life that can tell us a lot about who you are.
Wow, that's a lot to talk about.
It sure is.
I know. It started before I was even born because my mother, I know, was very sick when I was born, or before I was born. So I feel lucky that I'm even here, and I don't take that lightly. And then when I was 4, she died, and my grandmother, my dear little Quaker grandmother, took care of us, 3 little bratty girls. And that had to have been hard for her. But it shaped who I am. Mm-hmm. She taught me a lot, even when I was a little girl. She taught me that I really don't like mush.
Mush?
Mm-hmm. Mush.
Yeah.
And cereal. Not cereal, but what do you call that? Syrup.
Oh, mush and so yes.
Yeah.
These are the first lessons of life, I guess.
and then she left when my dad got married, and then he died when I was 13, and that was very traumatic. I still miss my dad, and that was a long time ago. But he taught me so much about nature and animals and how to be nice. And I met my grandmother when she was there, and I can't wait to die so I can apologize to her.
Go talk to her and apologize to her.
But anyway, everything that has happened to me, I feel like I'm a better person because of it. And I really mean that.
Even those tragedies, even those traumas for you.
Yeah, I still miss my dad, but I think of I had him for 13 years, and those 13 years were amazing. We did a lot of camping and nature things, and I love that to this day. And I always think about my dad when we're in the mountains. And then I went to college and worked in archaeology, and I loved that, and I still love it. Then I got married, and I had 2 of the most wonderful kids in the world.
I believe you.
Oh, they are. They're wonderful.
Oh, well, look at their mom.
Well, I don't know about that, but and then I'm married. After I got divorced, which was another traumatic thing. It was an unexpected thing. Then I got married again, and I've got a wonderful man that just treats me like a queen, and I'm really spoiled, and I love it.
Good.
But all of these things have had an impact on my life.
Yeah.
And teaching was a wonderful thing. I taught 4th grade and 3rd grade, and then I had a horrible brain hemorrhage that I don't know why I'm here.
When was that?
That was in 94. And my doctor, when I went to the emergency room, my doctor said, there's no reasonable explanation you're alive.
What?
And I'm here. I had to relearn to read and write and play the guitar again, which for me was really hard. That I had to do that because I love the guitar. But all of these things and then I taught first grade, and I didn't know the first thing about first grade, and that's after I'd had my brain hemorrhage, and I had been cleared to go to school, and I'd just gotten the job.
Oh my gosh!
And those first graders have taught me so much. Amazing. You know, what you learn from a child if you just listen.
So tell me, what are some of the things that your first graders taught you?
They taught me patience. Oh my gosh. Patience.
I bet. Yeah.
Patience and how to really listen to them and bend down and talk to them instead of looking around while they're talking to you. I learned that.
Yeah, because they demand that. That's what they want. They need connection.
That's right. And they need love. There were so many little ones that didn't have love at home. And I struggled with that. I'd go home and cry. Or if they didn't have a coat, I bought lots of coats.
Yeah.
But you have to learn. You have to listen to people.
It's interesting. I heard somebody once say that one aspect of wisdom is knowing when to not say something, when to, like, how to be patient, and what wisdom is about when to listen and not speak some truth or some, I'm an adult, I've had experience, I'm going to tell you all about it, And I think that teaching young children, if you're wise and you're able to let them teach you that lesson, that is a benefit of how to hold your perceived wisdom and listen to theirs, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Just listen.
Just listen.
Period.
How many years did you teach?
Oh, about 23 altogether.
23. That's really different than being an archaeologist.
I know it. My love is still archaeology.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you go out on digs?
I did.
Oh, my
but
gosh.
I don't obviously do that anymore because I went a different path.
Yeah. So,
I went back to school when I was 38 years old.
Wow.
So.
What was the reason for the transition for you?
You mean between archaeology?
Yeah, and education.
Archaeologists don't make a whole lot of money. And at the time, that wasn't a big deal. But I knew I was worrying about if something were to happen to my husband, what would I do?
Right.
So teaching just seemed to be the answer. And I loved it. I love teaching.
That's amazing. I can see it on your face. I really would have liked for you to be my first grade teacher.
Well, one thing that was so fun about teaching first grade is I love animals and things, bugs and spiders and things. And I had snakes in my classroom and spiders. And I even had what do you call those things that have the
scorpions?
Scorpion. I even had a scorpion.
You had a scorpion in your first grade classroom?
They made me get rid of it.
Oh, no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I would have loved that.
The teachers or the kids loved the stuff that was in my classroom, but not so much the parents.
I believe that. Oh, but that's so cool because you're willing to get in the dirt and look at all the things,
That's right.
all the different parts of life. So
that's right.
That's really
cool.
cool.
The kids would come in and they'd have their hands full of roly-poly bugs. So I decided we needed to have a unit of roly-poly bugs, and the kids really loved it, and they learned. So.
I love that. I don't know. I think this is my philosophy, at least in teaching, is listening to the person you're teaching and let them help you, like guide them, whatever they're interested in. There's a lesson there.
That's exactly right.
And it's unexpected. You can't predict. It's not really a curriculum, but
right.
you flow with it. I think that's incredible instinct that you have. And roly-polies are amazing.
Yeah, they are. Oh, they're very interesting.
They really are.
And another thing about teaching is every single one of those little children are different, and they don't learn the same way. I had one little boy that had to stand up and move around and that was his learning process.
Yeah.
So,
like almost embodying what he
Right.
was learning physically.
and finding out what they're interested in was huge.
Yeah.
They have to, you have to do that.
I think that's such an incredible segue into why we're even here. And so pause that thought. We'll come back to that in a second. But I would love to hear how you differentiate between joy and happiness. Because they're different in essence, at least in the way I see it. And I'm curious, do you see a difference? And then I can share with you if you're curious about what, people say and what research says about joy versus happiness.
Well, that's an interesting question. I've never thought about that.
I don't think most of us do,
Joy is something that I don't think it's learned, but it's something that happens sometimes spontaneously. Mm-hmm. And what was the other one?
Happiness.
Happiness. I can't answer that question.
I'm so glad, because that means we get to explore it and unpack it, right?
Talk to me more.
I got you. So, well, I think what I'm interested in is this philosophy that joy is an interior resource that everybody has. You're right. It seems like people don't learn it. They experience it. It is part of being a human being. And happiness in the world of definitions tends to be an external influence. So the sun's out, you're feeling happy. It's like more of a surface level emotion that comes and goes. Maybe you get a new pair of shoes and we're happy for a moment, and then it sort of goes away. But the thing that I think is interesting about joy and important is it's an infinite resource within ourselves. But what I'm discovering in this project is it's not something we can access if we lived alone and never encountered another human being. It is dependent on relationships. And when you're talking about joyful memories with a classroom full of first graders and scorpions and bugs, that's a pleasure and a resource, a well of joy that you can access when you remember the relationships, the kiddo who's jumping up and moving because that's how he has to learn, or your children. So joy seems to be tethered to other human beings, but it comes from our perception of them and our awareness of them, I think.
That's heavy.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
I know. It is.
And I think that happiness is more a mobile thing.
Yeah.
If that makes
it does.
any
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. I mean, tell me more what you mean. Like when you encounter a moment of happiness, what does that look like for you?
A bug that I didn't step on.
I love that. Yeah, so it's just a noticing. I'm feeling happy. I didn't smush the bug and life is good. Yeah.
And one thing, memory, joy to me is remembering things that I had with my dad. That is pure joy.
Yeah. And you can access it whenever you want to.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference.
I love that. So even if it's a dreary, horrible, horrible day, those files are there.
You can go into your joyful world.
That's right. That's right. And feel it.
But because I'm unhappy thinking about what happened, but then the joy that I have of what we had when we had it is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that kind of brings me to something I'm curious about. You've experienced quite a bit of loss, some scary points of suffering, like a brain aneurysm, and having to relearn how to read and play the guitar. And I imagine that's not the end of it, right? This process that you've gone through of healing, but having your brain impacted. Did you, were you aware of choosing certain actions that helped you find joy through those difficult times? Were you aware of pulling yourself through that in a way that brought joy with you so that you weren't pulled into depression or listlessness as so many of us can experience, or deep loneliness, for example?
That's a really good question, because when I have, and even now, I have problems with being embarrassed that I can't talk or say what I want to say, or learning. You know, I'll never be the same. But I've come to the realization that I'm here, and that's joy. That's pure joy. And I don't. Now I'm learning not to be embarrassed and look at the positives. Everything has a positive, no matter what it is. So
that's amazing.
It's sometimes it's hard to feel the joy. But like it'd be easy to say, oh, I wish I hadn't had that stupid brain hemorrhage, but I did, and I deal with it, and it's okay.
Well, and it sounds like you've cultivated some really honest acceptance about it.
I have.
You're not afraid of looking at that and experiencing it and allowing it to be a part of your story. So there's no resistance. And that's another piece that is interesting to me about joy. Some people say in order to feel it, you also have to allow yourself to feel pain and suffering, your pain and suffering.
That's
fully.
Exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So
you said it better.
Well, no, I don't think so. Like you were able to fully accept these deep losses and these traumatic experiences. But because of that, you're sitting here saying, this is the best. I'm alive, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm just trying to learn from people like you who are able to do that. Is there somebody in your life that modeled this to you? How did you get here? How are you doing this, Luanne?
I don't know.
Are there people that kind of taught you this or showed you what it's like to reframe difficult things, accept them, and move through them?
I can't think of anybody, unless it would be my dad. You know, he taught me so many good things. So it just all kind of is encompassed in there.
All in there.
Yeah.
And you're a pioneer. Look at you. You just went right through that journey kind of on your own, you know, but with sounds like the spirit and the love of your father and I'm assuming the love of your mom, you know, with you.
I would like to think that I know that my mother was real kind. Everybody has told me that, but I don't know.
Yeah. But maybe if everybody told you that, and that's how I see you, it sounds like she's in you in a cellular level, right? I
think so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm wondering what you think of this quote, because I love quotes. I think they're very helpful. A meditation teacher once said that joy isn't found, it's noticed. What practices do you do in your daily life that help you notice joy, if anything?
Reading.
How do you notice joy while you're reading?
I can read.
Right?
And I wasn't able to. So that's joy. Every time I pick up a book, I think, because my doctor told me that I probably wouldn't be able to read. And I can read. How dare he tell me that? The nerve of that guy.
No kidding. And every time you read, it's this act of rebellion.
Well, it kind of is. But it is joy. It's truly joy.
Is it difficult? Is it harder to read than it used to be still?
Oh, yeah, I used to be really good. They had to find programs for me because I was such a good reader. But in the math, I was in the Bluebird group.
The Bluebird group?
But reading, yes.
Yeah.
I'm slower. And sometimes I have to look at the lines because they go like this.
Oh, they move.
Yeah, they move, but I can read. And I am slower. And it's funny because I have to sound words out sometimes that I had never had to sound words out ever.
Oh, interesting.
that.
So it just takes time, but you're doing it. That's amazing. Thank you for telling me that. And now I take reading for granted. And so it's such a blessing to hear that I shouldn't.
Oh, if he had been true, I mean, he didn't know.
Yeah.
And he was a really good doctor. It was Dr. Tice, who's the best. But he didn't know. Yeah. And he said, you probably won't be able to read. And when he told me that, it was the end of the world. But he was wrong.
He was wrong. And so there must have been something in you that believed he was wrong or that you could prove him wrong.
Well, I told him that I was going to read.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Luanne, that's amazing.
It is. Someday, people have told me I need to read a book. I need to write a book.
I agree with them.
I wouldn't know where to even begin, but I should.
Well, yeah.
I've always wished, since after my brain hemorrhage and after several years, that I had had someone to help me get through it, because there was nobody. Nobody I knew had a brain hemorrhage and lived through it. Most people don't live through it.
That's true. And so you were alone in that process.
Well, I had Dennis.
You had Dennis.
And I just met him. And he stuck through me he stuck with me.
Yeah, but
the whole time.
That takes patience and love and acceptance.
Yeah.
So you found a good one.
I did.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering, do you think authenticity and honesty have something to do with our ability to experience joy? And I'm asking this because I think a lot of us struggle to be very honest with ourselves about life. Like, we will put the things that are uncomfortable or scary in a box, and we don't look at that. Or we don't tell ourselves the full truth about how we feel about something, or we might hide certain parts of ourselves with other people. And sometimes I wonder if that's a barrier to experiencing joy. And I think there's wisdom that you have about this, because you were able to fully accept this this massive obstacle, many obstacles in your life, and see them as they are and speak about them. So what role have authenticity and honesty had in your life? Was that modeled to you? Is that a strong value for you?
It's very strong. In fact, I think people aren't honest enough with themselves. A lot of times it's uncomfortable, things that people need to hear. But I think you need to be honest, or it's not real.
Right. What life are you living if you're not honest?
Yeah. And there isn't enough honesty in the world.
No. And it's interesting. What are we afraid of, really, is the question, which I think is not really a fair question. There are definitely consequences to being
lots
honest.
of different reasons.
Yeah, of course.
I try to be honest with myself. Sometimes I'm not. I have to be honest.
Yeah. Was that something that was part of your upbringing, or maybe?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure, because I think if I'd had my mother and my father, my real mother and my real father, I think things would have been different. I think there would have, because I know that both of them were really good people. I've so many people have told me that. But when my mother died, and then my dad died, and my mother, who was my mother, she was basically my mother for 60-some years.
Ooh, that's a long time.
Yeah. Where was I going with this? When she got married, she married a man that was a horrible man. He was so mean to me. He was just mean. He didn't like me, and he didn't like Lenny, my sister. And so it was a whole different scenario. You know, I didn't feel happy or honest. You know, I just wanted out.
No kidding.
So,
yeah. So
I don't know if that answered your question.
No, it does. It's just a perception of life and the circumstances that can push people into a corner.
And unhappiness.
Yeah. When your parents died, who talked to you? How did you get through that as a child?
I had 2 sisters. One of them was 8 years older than I am, and when Daddy died, she was already married. But my other sister and I were really, really close, and we stuck together.
So you talked a lot about it. You were very open about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd done without her.
Oh, I can't imagine to go through something like that as a young girl, you know, without support.
Yeah. And I had friends who really got me through, especially Daddy's death. You know, they got me through. I was doing all kinds of things. I was smoking, in
Luanne.
8th grade. I don't know. and nothing, terrible, awful drugs or anything. There weren't even drugs around then, but they got me through that. They really did. So yes, I had people to talk to.
Yeah. So that kind of goes to the relationship piece. Like, do you think relationships are a crucial component to joy? And what is the point of it? Like, why? Why are we built that way? What's your philosophy on this?
Well, a relationship is important. Simply because it helps you know who you are. At least that's what I think.
So it's like a mirror reflecting
kind of
potentially yourself back to you and a growth point.
Kind of. Yeah. And a lot of times there's a different perspective that I never thought about. And
yeah. Do you have any advice for people who feel lonely these days? It's really, really easy to be alone these days, more than ever, I think. And for somebody who said, yes, I want relationships, but how do I even start, in a real authentic way? Because this seems like something you've been able to do through your life, develop strong relationships with your sisters, with your partners, with your kids, your students. How do you do it?
Well, you have to realize that you need somebody else. That's the first thing, I think. And there has to be somebody in your life, no matter what. And there has to be God. I know a lot of people don't think that, but I do.
Yeah, so tell me more. Yeah,
I never did really realize that until that guy told me that there was no reason I should be here. And that really affected me. So
that was sort of a spiritual awakening.
It was for me.
For you.
Very much.
Did you feel that you had something to do to, after you came back, so to speak, and you had this rebirth into a new phase, a new journey in your life as Luanne post brain aneurysm? I don't know. Where was what was the question I was going to ask? Like, what happened to you spiritually? If you don't mind talking a little bit more about that.
Well, it wasn't like all of a sudden thing. Yeah. It was, I realized, so many things have happened to me in my life that I shouldn't be here. Like my sister and I were at Mesa Verde, and I fell off a ledge, and I didn't fall all the way. And neither one of us can remember how I got back up, but I fell, off onto the ledge.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm here.
Oh my gosh.
And it's all of a sudden it realized, and there's so many other little things that I remember. And it got me to thinking, and this has been kind of recent, that maybe there really is a reason I'm here.
Yeah.
So, I don't go into it like heavy duty.
Yeah.
But I really do think that there is a God.
And do you think that joy is a piece of, how does joy relate to God for you or your spirituality?
He got me off the ledge.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd have to think about that one.
Yeah, because some people that I've talked to and read about tend to say, we are designed to need each other. We are designed to need relationship and love, which of course is fertile soil for joy. So I wonder if that spiritual nature of joy, or however you want to classify it, has to do with connection.
Well, I think everybody needs somebody. And it has to be somebody who is a positive person who's going to help, not bring you down. And there are people who do bring you down. So you've got to, at least I need to really watch that.
That is such a good point. So in your life, you even mentioned your stepmother's husband was probably one of those people who is, sounds like a really dark character.
Yes,
how do you cultivate good boundaries to not allow that person to drag you down while not actively hating or hurting them? How do you walk that balancing act to keep yourself true to yourself?
That's a good question. I just try not to bring myself down to that level.
How do you do that?
I tune it out. And I just tune it out, because I have some friends who they're dear to me, but sometimes they just like if they get so, what's the word? Not grumpy, but down about something. And I keep telling them there is a positive. What is good about that? That situation? And I think if people would think more on the good side than what is negative, I think that it helps.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I agree. It seems like there's some kind of an addictive nature to negativity, where if there's some response that we have when we are around that so much that it can pull us,
It can pull you down.
Yeah. And so I'm wondering, it sounds like you tend to hear and take in more positive messages and things in the world. What would you say to somebody that might say, well, Luanne, you can't live with your head in the sand. Like there are hard things, there are dark things, there's suffering, what would your response be to somebody who's really passionate, maybe from even an activist point of view, but isn't necessarily connected to joy?
I would say I have to think about things. Like my first reaction to somebody, I'm thinking of this friend, is to just, oh, really? Did she just do that to me? But I have to think about it and process it. And then it might take me a couple weeks, but then I'm okay. And I realize that people are who they are. And some people aren't going to change. And just because I don't like what they're doing, which is usually not the right thing.
Of course.
I have to think about it. I can't just spontaneously say,
Yeah.
I have to think about it.
Do you think there's something important about having a hobby as a human being?
I do.
Tell me about the philosophy of hobbies for you.
Well, I think, especially when a person is retired, but before that too, you have to have a hobby. You have to have something that is interest to just you, nobody else, or a partner, or I think that's important to. For me, it was important, especially after I had my brain hemorrhage, because I felt like I couldn't do anything, and everything I do is a challenge. It is. It truly is. And it makes me feel so good when I can do something, something that I hadn't been able to do before. Silly little things like, I can't think of anything right now off the top of my head, but tiny little things.
They're little wins every time you get this
they're
win.
wins.
Yeah.
Like going to the store or filling up a gas tank. For me to do that, I don't know how to do that. Dennis always does it. That's so exciting when I can do it. Yes. Or something technologically.
Oh, yes. Yeah, just challenging.
But hobbies are important, I think.
So how do you define a hobby versus, I don't know, I guess a career or I guess what I'm asking is, how do you define a hobby for somebody? So say somebody has no hobbies, but they're wanting to find a thing. How would you tell them either to search for it or what it is?
Well, it's something that you really have a desire to do, or it's something that is enjoyable and just pursue it more.
So something enjoyable that kind of comes from an innate desire. Do you, what would you say to somebody who wants to perfect their hobby? Like, what's the role of achievement versus the pleasure of the process in a hobby?
See if it's a challenge. That's a good example. When I'm doing handwork, each stitch is a challenge, and I want to make each one a little better. And when I do, it's like, yeah. And when I don't, I rip it out.
Okay. Yeah.
But making steps, each step is a little bit better.
I love that. That's a really beautiful definition, actually. Somebody I was reading a while ago was talking about how hobbies really are about the moment, like being in the present moment for people. When you feel super connected to whatever you're doing, typically with your hands, that's a hobby. And in that present moment, you're not striving to necessarily be done. You just want to keep doing the thing, Hey. Yeah. And I think that's interesting. So how did you get into sewing?
Well, when we moved, we lived in Crawford. No, we lived in Grand Junction, and then we retired, went to Crawford. There was a quilt store there. And I just happened to go in there, and I said, would you teach me how to quilt? And she did. And I just loved it. And it was fun. It was something to do with my hands, and something that was different than I've ever done before. And that was important.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into it.
I love it. So you go on retreats.
Yeah.
What are quilt retreats like? I can't even picture this.
Well, you just take your sewing machine or not, or just do handwork and just talk. And it's just a good time to be with people. And sometimes there are people who I would rather not be with, but that's okay too. Because sometimes, like, there was a gal who she's very loud and very opinionated, a little more than you would want.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed her this time.
Oh,
so,
nice.
It's one of those things that you just have to put aside.
Yeah. Give it some time.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, I hope you can show me something about quilting or sewing later, because 2 days before I married that guy, my mother set me down. This is 2 days before the wedding. And she's like, you need to learn how to sew because now you're going to be a wife. I'm like, oh my gosh, what? No, so my act of rebellion was sitting like this, thinking, I'm not going to do this. This is so sexist. I know. Also, I'm super stressed out. So I rejected it. And now, our kids will take shop or industrial arts or something, and they'll come home and they're like, I just sewed a zipper on and I feel completely inept as a mother. So I think I'm just starting to respect what people can do with their hands and with time and focus, and how it can be meditative. It can be communal.
It's like therapy.
Yes. And it can be calming and connecting, with yourself and your achievements, and, sort of rebelling against what a doctor might have said, for example, but also just enjoying being a person with an opposable thumb and can sew,
Yep.
So I'm hoping you can show me that. And the spirit of my mother will be freaking out.
That makes me laugh because Carrie Lou, my daughter, I did 4-H. I did 4-H horse. I did 4-H cooking and sewing. And Carrie Lou hated the sewing. She hated the cooking. She loved the horses, but she still doesn't cook. She cooks really good.
Oh.
She really cooks, but she hates sewing. She can't even put a button on.
I can't put a button on. I can't do anything. I am completely lost. I'm like, burn the shirt. No.
This will be interesting.
It'll be interesting. I might start crying, actually. No, just kidding.
You won't. It'll be a fun thing.
I think that's so cool, though, because there's some rejection that we generally have with our parents. But now I get to heal that a little bit and learn something from you. Mm-hmm. Well, before we do that, I have a question that I ask everybody because I think it's important. What would you say about our culture and our society right now in terms of how it teaches joy, emphasizes it, de-emphasizes it? Like, what's happening right now in our culture in terms of joy?
We have to stop being mean to each other. We have to think about kindness and the other person instead of me. This meanness has just got to stop. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what the answer is.
Well, I think you just gave it. But it's also challenging in a culture that pushes for me first thinking, I was speaking with our mutual acquaintance, Robin, about her value system in concerts. Her whole structure of building a concert with her students is, what would the audience love and how can we include them in the performance? And I thought that was such a beautiful metaphor of how you build joy in a community. You cannot just think of yourself, because if you do, what you present to the world looks like you presenting, marketing yourself without even knowing other people are in the room or what they think, So I think you're on to something really important that's a loss right now.
Yeah, it's very troubling to me.
Mm-hmm. So have you been in places, maybe in your community here or in your life, that you step into this location and you can feel love or joy? It's just radiant for you?
Yeah. Carrie's house.
Oh, really?
It's an amazing thing. She had a baby when she first got married, well, you know,
This is your sister?
No, my daughter.
Your daughter, Carrie, excuse me.
yeah,
Sorry.
and well, for 2 years they were married, and then they had a baby, and they discovered that the baby had a terminal disease, and she died when she was 9 months old.
Oh my gosh.
And my son's daughter had a baby this very same time, the same hour, and she's okay. So, but then she had another baby, and she had another baby, and she had another baby, and each one had 75% chance that they would have what Cassidy had. And then she adopted 6 more children.
What?
And one of them is severely handicapped. He died not too long ago. And 2 little they just had 2 little boys that were full of drugs and things like that. Anyway, and now they have kids now.
Oh my gosh.
And the family, when you go to that house, it's pure joy. It's chaotic. It's crazy, but they all just love each other and they're real. It's a wonderful place to visit.
Wow.
I know it's my family, but it's
Of course it's your family.
I know.
Of course it's your family.
I know you.
No, because of you is what I'm trying to say. Because of how you raised your daughter. Look at that. What an incredible thing.
Pretty neat to go to that house.
So how did Carrie do that to create a warm, how do you think she successfully, adopting kids is really difficult.
Yeah.
And it's not always, successful in the way we like to say parenting is successful. How did she do this?
She's an amazing person. That's all I can think of. She has a lot of faith. Lot of faith. But she loves her kids, and she's the reason they adopted a couple of them was because one of them, they had the little boy, he was a foster child, and the boyfriend came and beat the heck out of this little boy, and he's severely handicapped. I mean, in a wheelchair, can't walk, can't talk. And he died not too long ago. But then they had 2 other kids that had drugs in their systems, and one little boy had a gun. And they were little kids, not even 4 and like 1. Wow. And they adopted them. And she wants children to be okay. So they're amazing.
I'm so grateful you shared that. Thank you.
Yeah. It's a happy place.
Yeah, no kidding. Is there some, taking, some cues from you, is there something you would want to encourage our listeners, people who are listening right now, to try that might ignite that spark of joy in their lives or help them connect to something meaningful? Is there something you, just as Luanne, hey, get out there, try this, see what you think,
Well, if there are people who are hurting in the world, do something about it. Go have lunch with them. Just sit with them. You don't have to even, it doesn't have to be something important. Just let them know that they're loved. And I think that's important.
Yeah.
Because there's too many people that aren't loved.
I heard, that reminds me of, I think it was a Buddhist monk who said that joy is the byproduct of having compassion for somebody else. So when you go out and you sit with somebody who is alone or going through chronic pain or whatever it is, you get this gift from that, just from being present with that person. And I think that's a really beautiful message to people. If you're feeling stuck, like, go out and be with somebody who needs a person. And then you get the same thing, you get the same hit, so to speak, of connection and meaning, So I think that's brilliant, actually.
Yeah. well, I feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes, you don't want to go out and do that. You've got other things to do. But then think about that person doesn't have anything else to do.
Yeah. So maybe it's about noticing when you have a moment in your life, when you have a lot, when you have abundance in some way, and then you can step in and share that with somebody else. Because I don't think we were very good at noticing how much we have.
And that's collectively. It's not just one person. There are a lot of people who we all have our moments that we don't want to go out and be with somebody.
Mm-hmm. Volunteer or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
No, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah.
I'm not good at volunteering things.
Oh, I know. It's hard. It's weird that it's hard because when we go and do it, usually it's deeply rewarding.
It is. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's beautiful advice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Before we move on to you teaching me how to sew, is there something you'd want to say as we wrap up our interview? Anything about this experience, or if you had any questions for me? Like, this is your stage, Luanne.
I don't know. It just, I think what you're trying to do is wonderful, and I'd like to be a big part of it.
You are.
So,
thank you.
I feel good about you guys.
Thank you, Luanne. What an amazing way to wrap up our conversation together.
Well, I appreciate it.
I appreciate it too.
Really love being with you guys.
We love you. And I can't wait to buy your book. So get on that.
It'll probably be posthumous. What's the word, posthumously?
I only know that because of nerdy music stuff.
Oh.
Posthumously composed. Yeah. Whatever. Write it.
Yeah.
And we'll read it no matter what.
I should write it. Everybody has told me that. So
well, that's a sign.
It is an amazing thing that happened to me. So
yeah. And look at what you're doing with your life.
Doing interviews.
I know, right? Who'd have thought it? So let's go sew.
Okay.
Luanne is so excited to teach me how to sew. Hold that little bit.
Yeah, hold on to it.
Including the top.
Yeah. Just
like this.
Yeah, and then now that should do it.
Come on, Katie. For heaven's sake.
It takes a while to learn this. It really does.
I did it. I made a knot. Thank you.
Okay,
Are we done here? Is that all? This is a serious joy for her, and she tells me why. She faced the unique and devastating challenge of enduring a severe brain hemorrhage as an adult. Her doctor told her that she'd never read, and that basic tasks would be a struggle at best. But Luanne had the attitude that allowed her to overcome and totally surpass expectations. One of the ways she does this, she tells me, is through sewing.
Yeah, I'm shaking. This is high stakes work here. This is sharp. You work with sharp things.
This, to me, it's therapy. And not that I need therapy.
We all need therapy, Luanne. Come on.
Okay, pull it through.
Okay, pull it through. But it's therapeutic.
You have just done your first stitch.
Oh,
my word. Look at that. That is a beautiful stitch.
It is a beautiful stitch.
Now you're going to do this.
It's hard for her, no doubt, but the struggle is part of the win. She celebrates the things she can do, one stitch at a time. Rejoice in each stitch and make the next one even better. This is the mantra of someone who practices acceptance and sees possibility in all things. It's a wonder to watch, honestly. I feel like she's stitching together the pieces of her life, pulling them together and seeing it as wholly miraculous.
So.
Oh, no! I did it. No.
Okay.
No.
That's okay.
So I can pull them out?
You have to pull it out.
The whole thing. Oh, dash.
You have to redo it.
How often do you have to rethread these needles?
Remember, we're learning. And we are happy.
What? What if I destroy it? No, come back. Okay. We're learning. We're happy.
We're happy.
I have 2 stitches. I'm great. Okay.
And those 2 stitches are beautiful.
They are, right?
They're so beautiful.
And that's the thing here. the lesson for me. Luanne sees life as an astonishing gift, and she notices this minute by minute, stitch by stitch, word by word, every moment. She tells me that if we're worried about this world, then we should go out and sit with a person who needs love. In other words, go out and pull together the fabric of your life and someone else's with the thread of love. I mean, that's the ultimate mic drop, isn't it? I love you, Luanne. Thank you for being a part of my quilt. Hey, hope you enjoyed today's discussion. I ask each guest to share a song that brings them joy. See the show notes below for a song from today's guest. For more music, you can also find a link to the Joyful Forklift Spotify playlist. Help us continue to spread joy by subscribing to or following the channel. To sign up for our newsletter and to learn more about us, visit joyfulforklift.com.